All right, welcome back everybody to another video, and this video it's about the rapper Sexyy Red, and I just listened to a video from Jason Whitlock, and he was talking about the thumbnail had the picture or no had other generational melanated people, and the thumbnail is painting the depiction or giving you the illustration that over time that hip hop or rap has taken a downward spiral for the worse. Instead of it evolving into something great, instead of it having an evolution or evolution, it's having a devolution, meaning that it's going downward. So he titled it, he says, "Is Sexyy Red the root of rap's problem or symptom of black culture decay?" And when I hear titles like that and I see titles like that, it bothers me because it lets me know that the person, Jason Whitlock, who's speaking on the subject, doesn't understand how the world of entertainment works and how entertainment works together. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a truth seeker, and I endeavor to do my best to use critical thinking in all things. Anyone out here knows, in terms of talent, that Sexyy Red rapper is not a talented rapper. So she didn't get her rap deal based upon her talent. So if you know that, if that's your premise, if that's the premise, which it is, and if you can stand on that foundation, then everything else starts to make sense. If a person is not chosen for their talent, but then they are put out there and given the attention and the media attention and the notoriety and the access to be well known and to be more known, then you have to start asking yourself another question. Why? What's the purpose behind it? What's the intent? Hence, we have something called plants. You plant certain people within the culture to paint the general picture of what that culture is about. You give off the misnomer that the quote unquote black culture is this. They take the worst of us and they promote the worst of us. And then our young kids, teenagers look up to those things because they feel that in order to be successful, I need to be that. But that's a weaponized attempt to destroy the melanated race. So rather than asking the question or falling into the trap of, is this the root of rap problem? Or is this a problem that's rooted in rap? Or is it just a sign of the decadence or the devolution of the black race? That's not the right question to ask at all. That's not how you, that's too easy. That's what they want you to think. It's a divide and conquer tactic that's been done, that's been incorporated inside our reality for centuries, since the beginning of time. It goes back to the Tower of Babel when languages were split and genetics changed the way people looked. People ended up looking like their gods, the gods that created them, the gods that ruled over their regions. They would have certain features to mimic them. So rather than having everyone on the same accord, because we're powerful as one, you divide languages, you divide genetic makeups, you separate people. In that way, they're easier to conquer. So what's being done here is it's easy. Sexyy Red is not the problem. The problem is lack of critical thinking from our people. We generalize things too much. We accept everything that is. We fall right into the trap. These are psychological traps, psychological operations. She's not there because of her talent. She's there as a weapon against the melanated community. Rather than us giving her airtime and talking about it, the best thing you could do is just ignore it. But on the video, it talks about her having 3.5 million Instagram followers. But that's because she has the exposure. See, when you are a plant, plants don't need talent. Plants, they give you a script. How far are you willing to go to get this money? That's analogous to selling your soul. The way she dresses, what she stands for. I've never listened to any of her songs. I just hear about her online. But that's deliberate. That's intentional. Negative attention or positive attention, it's attention nevertheless. And she's reaping much benefits from it at the expense of the melanated culture. Or the black culture, as Jason Whitlock likes to refer it to. That's what it is. She's a plant. So you can't raise reasonable questions, intelligent questions, inquisitive questions about a plant. Because once a plant is acknowledged, then everything else becomes a moot point, because a plant is put there to serve an agenda. The question we should be asking is, what is the agenda? And it's clear as day. They're not going to promote a young rapper that's talented, but is rapping about positive messages and things that are designed to uplift the community. They're not gonna push that. But if you're half naked and you come across as promiscuous, you're saying a lot of decadent things in your lyrics. Oh yeah, we want that because that sells. No, it's not that it sells. It's just that it's promoted. And when it's promoted so much and you see it all the time on mainstream media, it causes a hypnotic effect upon the mind. You start to actually listen to it, then slowly you start to like it. Have you ever heard a song the first couple of times you hated it? It comes on the radio, you're like, oh my God, they're playing this song again. But after a couple of months, you start bobbing your head to the song. That's a hypnotic effect. These things are studied, folks. Everything is by design. Everything that happens, be it on the news, even when that pandemic happened, the COVID word, when that happened, it's the way the media put the attention on it that put people in a state of fear to that degree. Something that was as common as a common cold was taken on a new narrative, as if this thing was like a sentence to death. Like if you got it, you were gonna die. And that's how people were acting. People were behaving as if we got this alleged virus, we're going to die. Fear doesn't do anything for your immune system. It weakens your immune system. All right? And there's a gamut of lies behind that pandemic tale anyway. That's a whole nother video for another day. And that's probably a video that I can't make on YouTube. It'll probably be taken down. So I'm not even going to address that. I'll let you guys keep thinking and taking in the mainstream media information and taking it as the gospel, rather than trying to peel the onion back and get to the core of why they're doing certain things. So this Sexyy Red thing is not about the decline of black culture. Black culture is not declining. We are allowing ourselves to be perceived as if we are declining. Many of us are awakening every day. But media doesn't show that. See, media has become the perpetrator of perceived truth or of perceived reality. So whatever mainstream media says, that's what we think life is. There's much more to life. They're not going to put out positive information that's going to do anything for the betterment of the melanated race. They're not going to do that. And if they ever do that, that person that they're doing it with, if it's an individual that they're promoting that's supposed to be a positive change agent for the melanated community, and you better believe that there's a sinister plot behind that. When America promotes a melanated man to uplift melanated people, Be very leery of that, because they're not going to allow that. When Obama came on the scene, I was one of them, I admit. I'm like, oh my God, we got a black president, about to have a black president. It was all a game. It's a circus. It's a show. It's a soap opera. He's handpicked. He's a puppet. You think America's going to promote a melanated man, aka a black man? Do you think America's going to promote that? Not going to promote that. So these Sexyy Red thing, we just need to stop giving attention to her. But, I mean, I'm sort of being a hypocrite myself if I'm saying don't give her attention, because here I am talking about it. But the reason why I'm talking about it, I'm sort of making my comments, analyzing the comments analyzing the video. I didn't fully watch the video. I watched like the first 5 minutes of it when he had the other girl on there. I forgot her name, and she was on there giving her take on it. And music is weaponized against us. I want you guys to start seeing the reality that we live in as a war. We are at war. We are at war for information. We are at war for our minds. I mean, even going into the grocery store, it's like you're walking into a landmine. You have to actually, I have this thing on my app called the Bobby Approved app. It helps me pick out foods that have better ingredients in them. It's amazing what you have to do. You literally have to become you almost have to have a bachelorate or a master's degree in nutrition just to go out and pick your food to eat. If you trust the FDA to feed you, you're already dead. If you trusted WHO, the World Health Organization, you are already dead. Can't trust any governmental agency. You have to trust yourself. Don't trust any construct of man. Every one of us has a divine spark in us. We have to look inside ourselves. I know this is not popular. There's something wrong with our people. We've been infused with some type of worship gene that makes us just want to give our brains off to people who construct themselves as the harbingers of regulation, or as the harbingers of people who are going to perpetuate safety and put you in a state where you're going to be comfortable and where they have your best interest at heart. That's never such a thing that's ever existed. If anybody or any entity or any enterprise claims to have more power than you, then that's your master and you are the slave. The power is in here. You can't look at Sexyy Red and say, oh man, she's just a talented rapper. She's not talented. She can't rap. Even rappers like 21 Savage. I mean, these guys are horrible. Compare them to the older rappers back then who were very lyrical in their approach. These guys were wordsmiths. Triple, quadruple how do you say entendres? I mean, these guys would eat up people like Sexyy Red. And they try to put Nicki Minaj and Sexyy Red in the same category. Well, I think Nicki Minaj is more talented, but she still falls into that same category of that filthy rap stuff. But her image is not what people are focused on. With Sexyy Red is the image that she portrays. And she has lack of talent. Same thing with that other guy, Nas X. Posing as he's like a god on the cross or having sex with the devil in his video. I mean, you are doing the most. You're doing a lot to get attention. It seems forced. And it's always our melanated people. It's always our melanated people. They use us. They weaponize our talents and use it against us. Likened to a autoimmune disease that attacks itself. These are all weapons used to compress us and to suppress us. You have to see it that way. I implore you to look at it that way. It's not just, oh, that's just the way it is. No. Even the education industry, the food industry, the governments, the army, everything that's put here is for a reason, but it's not for the reason that they've told you. It's much deeper than that. You have to go beneath the surface to find the truth. So the question here is not, is black culture going downward or going out of control or spiraling out of control? That's not what we're talking about here. That's not what this is about. But that's what they want you to think by putting plants in. You plant people in, the seed sprouts, it germinates, it grows, it flourishes, and it starts to yield fruit. And Sexyy Red is yielding fruit right now. She's getting a lot of attention, 3.5 million followers, and it's growing. It's not because of her talent. They push that on us. They take a talented form of artistry of music making, such as hip hop or rap, whatever you want to call it, and they find a way to weaponize it. Everything that we touch that turns to gold, the European, seeps in. And I say European, don't be an idiot. All these music companies are not owned by us. They're owned by those guys with the letters. You can't even say it. Because anything you say, you become anti-Semitic. You can't even say anything about them. Kanye West tried to give you guys a hint about who really runs the music industry. I think we are so powerful that we've become a weapon to ourselves, a weapon of destruction to ourselves. We are a weapon of mass destruction. We are the weapons of mass destruction because we're so talented, but they use all our talent against ourselves, against our own culture. The power we get from the sun, they try their best to block it. The power we can get from foods, they try their best to block it. They put a KFC and a McDonald's in every poverty-stricken neighborhood, especially in neighborhoods that are riddled with melanated people. And not only do they put those toxic restaurants there, they know that those chemicals are going to be addictive. And they make it not too cheap, but they make it cheap enough where they know you're going to come back and keep buying it. You're not going to break the wallet. You may bend the wallet, but the wallet won't break. You won't go broke. Keep eating. They don't promote foods from the soil. They don't do that. They don't do that at all. And even me saying that, I know some of you guys are listening like, ugh, vegetables, I hate it. Your brain, you're done. When you get to the point where you hate the things that are good for you and you love the things that are bad for you, you are in a symbolic state of a hell. That's what hell is. It's an inversion from logic. It's a reversed operation that works contrary to what logic is. But it's given the look or the veneer of something that's steeped in a realm of logic, but it isn't at all. It's not. It's not. So don't blame the culture. It's not the culture that's producing Sexyy Red. Those who are in control of the music industry are the ones that plant these talentless rappers who do more than just music. Because what the things she says, the way she dresses, she gets more attention. I've never heard anyone say, "Hey, oh man, did you hear that Sexyy Red song? She said this." No one's breaking down her bars or breaking down her lyrics. No one cares about that. Most of her attention are being brought based upon the things she's saying and the way she looks. That's it. That's it. That's what you call a plant. Because the majority of your attention is not on your music. It's based upon the other things you're doing outside of music. And here you have a guy like Jason Whitlock who has a huge platform, and you're actually going to give attention to something like that. Rather than giving attention to something like that, if you are going to give attention to something like that, that question, the title of your video should not be that. You should be addressing it the way I'm addressing it, to say that the industry are putting in these plants to destroy the black culture. Don't blame the black culture for Sexyy Red. Blame the industry for her, for actually allowing a person like that to be put in, to be selected. You're trying to tell me that she's the most talented rapper? You know how many other girls out there are talented than her? Not only could rap, could play instruments, can sing and rap. So, Jason Whitlock, you got to be better, man. You got to stop always pointing the finger at our people. The Caucasian doesn't have to do it. You're doing it for them. Try to get to the root of the problem. It's easy. That's easy. It's too easy. When something is that easy, there's always a catch to it. It's easy to say, "Oh, look at the rap game is the black culture. Look at them. This is what they like." No, we don't like that. We don't like that. I don't like that. I'm sure a lot of people don't like that. Even young people don't like that. She's just someone that's pushed by the industry to draw attention, to siphon attention of the minds of young teenagers and young adolescents. That's what this boils down to. It's entertainment, but it's not entertainment with her skill or her talent. It's entertainment because of her aura, because of who she is, how she presents herself, her image. Okay? So yeah, don't blame the black culture for her. Blame her and blame the industry. Blame the industry for pushing out a product like that. Something so vile and disgusting. Blame the industry. All right, thank you guys for listening. Leave a comment and let me know what you guys think. All right, bye. To the next time.